Hello there, welcome to the AirgunGearShow. It's been a while, yes it has, but you may have noticed that there's something going on in the world. Anyway, let's get straight back to it and let's start off with the word Hades. Now originally there was the 2.2s, then there was the 2.5s, and now there's the 1.77s, and I've got a couple of tins. But the question is, do they do the business downrange? Let's find out. This video was recorded before and during the virus outbreak, but it's all been done on my own property. I don't quite know why I need to say that. Actually, yes I do. It's because there are some muppets out there that look to just be offended. They just want to find something to complain about and report you for. If you do feel the urge to complain, I suggest you put it in the description box below, and I shall then file it in my VIP section. Look mama, I got toilet roll. Got to do the legal bit. This video has been sponsored by AirgunGearShow.com and AirgunGearShop.co.uk and AirgunGearShop.forum.com. It's all about the Airgun 101, but it's mine and I am quite pleased with it. JSB have indeed sent me these pellets. They have not asked me to make a review, it is my own choice, and therefore everything I'm about to say to you about these pellets is all out of my own very confused brain. Shall we now get on with the video? 177 is the smallest calibre when it comes to air guns other than BBs, and in the UK sub 12 foot-pound it's used a lot in hunting and target shooting, because it's light and flies flatter and quicker compared to a 2.2 sub 12 foot-pound. Basically it's 600 feet per second versus 800 feet per second. And that's a twitch on a rat's nose. Now most sub 12 foot-pound 177 shooters prefer to use the 8.44 grain pellet because of the speed, but because it's lighter you are going to give up hitting power. So does the new Hades create a bridge between the two? Enough speed and enough hitting power in the sub 12 foot-pound market? And what does that segmented head actually do? You might ask, why am I wearing ear defenders to clean my air gun? Well, it's quite simple, because these cleaning pellets, when you shoot them through a sub 12, are coming out over 1100 feet per second down there, which means sometimes you get that little supersonic crack, and after doing that 3 or 4 times it becomes quite painful. But there we are, that's why I'm wearing ear defenders to clean my air gun, but they do make the barrel really nice and clean. Power does vary. My Galahad sub 12 deals with the extra weight nicely. And if you want to tune, my impact will get me closer to that golden number of 12. But some rifles don't like the extra weight. So do take that into account. There is a variable there. 663. So there is going to be a variation across sub 12 foot-pound rifles. Some will like them, some will not. If you're shooting FAC or high power in 177, like our American cousins across the pond, and you're using something like this, these numbers are going to mean absolutely nothing to you because you can shoot them at whatever power you want. But us Brits, we have some laws and regulations to abide by. And what does that do to the speed of the Hades downrange? Working on an average of 11.76 foot-pounds, and then working on, at the muzzle, 717 feet per second with the Hades to get that, and 790 feet per second with a regular 8.44, these are the speeds you can expect at 20 yards. And as you can see, it is slightly lower with the Hades. And remember, this is sub 12 foot-pounds that I'm talking about. So as you would expect, they're heavier, so they go a little slower. But what about accuracy? A quick 20-yard test with any 177 pellet on a breezy day can normally tell you quite a lot quite quickly. And I can tell you that I've got 5 in that hole there and it's 7.9 mils wide. So I think the Hades are working quite well. 30 yards then, my first shot without even dialing was a bullseye. Then I got a nice little 5-shot group. Then I got uncomfortable and got it wrong. And then I corrected myself and got a nice little 5-shot group there as well. And that's 10.4 mils apart. So 30 yards, the Hades are accurate. Let's go back a bit further.
700, 5. 700, 10.
50 yards then, and this bit I'm talking about sub 12 foot-pound rifles, the groups do open up and it does become a little bit more difficult. And that I think is down to the fact that those JSB Hades are slightly heavier and we are restricted under the sub 12 foot-pound law, which means they slow down a lot quicker and therefore they move around a bit in that air. If you have a high-powered rifle, American market rifle, FAC rifle, I think you'll find that you've got that little bit of extra oomph, which means it's going to overcome that pellet slowing down. So, UK sub 12 foot-pounds, out to 30 yards, they hit really hard and they're nice and accurate. By the time you get to 50, the groups have opened up a little bit, even on a calm day. And my best guess, because I don't have a high-powered 177 air rifle here, is that if you are, let's say in the USA, you're going to find that out to 50 yards, these are going to work quite fine for you. This is my 3 blocks of soap test. Now I'm going to catch a 177 Hades in this from 20 yards away using a sub 12 foot-pound rifle. There are those of you out there that scream, why are you doing it from 20 yards away? Well, actually, because normally with my air rifle, I'm shooting at things sort of 15 yards plus. So I think it's kind of relevant. Also, it may be politically incorrect to shoot soap at this current time. We all need to be using soap a lot more on our hands, don't we? First of all, how far in have we gone? So we've gone in just below 1.5 inches, 3.6 centimetres, which means I think we're into the second block. There's a nice opening, exit, and you can see just around there you've got, hopefully the camera can pick that up, I can see roughly around there that you're getting like deformity as you go through, which is sort of like 1.2 centimetres of deformity across. And again, if the camera can pick it up, there is sort of, if I point here, around here, you can actually see, like, if I try and draw on the soap, kind of like a shock channel where the pellet stopped. And again, that's about 1.1, 1.2 centimetres. I did, of course, do a second test with an 8.44 grain pellet because I wanted to compare the two results. And we've got 2.5 centimetres or 1 inch. Now look at that, that's interesting. So just to compare, 8.44, 10.3 Hades. And there is a big shock area at the back, look. If the camera can see that, and that is around 1.6 centimetres. Right. Isn't science a wonderful thing? Now, the interesting thing there is that the 8.44 pellet stopped shorter than the Hades. In fact, it stopped a whole 1.1 centimetres shorter than the Hades. Plus, the Hades expanded more. The normal 8.44 managed 0.10 of a mil. The Hades did a whopping 0.16 of a mil. So to confirm, the Hades in sub 12 hits harder and penetrates further than a standard 8.44. But what I really want to see is proper expansion of that head. I mean, I want to see a full fragmentation of that head, but I don't have a high-powered 177 rifle, so I've got to come up with something. I've resorted back to the good old days and I'm using wadding, and in this case I'm actually using cleaning pellets, and I'm cushioning a 177 Hades between two cleaning pellets just so I can get it to sit in the barrel and fly forward quick enough. And using that method I'm able to shoot my 2.2 with a 177 pellet inside it. And believe it or not, it's coming out at 900 plus feet per second. And I'm hoping that's enough to get that head to expand on that 177 Hades. Shall we find out? Oh yes, it worked. Can you see that, camera? Let's take that indoors. I think the before and after is quite clear. At its widest point, there has clearly been some expansion. That little 177 Hades has turned itself into a mangled chunk of lead. So what's my conclusion on the Hades 177? Well, sub 12, it hits harder than an 8.44 pellet. Yes, it does. It's pretty accurate out to 50. Once you get past 30, maybe the 844s might be a smidgen more accurate, but nothing really to worry about. And of course you do get that tiny amount of expansion as well. So all in all, sub 12, it's a usable pellet. High power, well, the more power you give it, the bigger that head is going to expand. Accuracy, can't really test it, but I'm guessing with my results from the sub 12 that if you give that another 150, 200 feet per second, your accuracy is going to be pretty good out to 50. My one question would be though, is that if you do have a high power rifle, why you're not using a 2.2 Hades instead of a 177, because you're probably going to get a bit more accuracy downrange. If you've enjoyed this video, please have a look at airgun101.com. There is literally thousands of videos on there. It's like a library mecca of everything airgun that you could ever want to know about. All your favorites are on there. And it's also got a forum, AirgunOne01forum.com. It's a new forum, so get on there, get yourself registered and start asking questions and chatting. And also, please take a look at AirgunOne1shop.co.uk. That's it. Thanks for watching. There's lots more coming. Cheerio.